What is up, Starseeds? It's Sid, and today I wanted to talk about a pretty controversial subject, okay? I posted in a few different spiritual YouTube groups about this very topic a couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of heat for it, okay? I got some love from it for sure, but there were some people like really offended that I said that I thought that 144,000 chosen ones was kind of a crock of BS. And I meant it in the most loving way possible. I said we're all chosen ones. Okay, and that's like what I'm gonna talk about in this video. I don't understand why people were so offended by this. I know in religious texts it mentions this number, and I highly respect this number, as a frequency, okay? I feel like it's a very powerful frequency. All numbers that add up to 9 are very powerful. You know, I even have one, if not a couple, tattooed on my body. 18 does as well. There's more to that, but yeah. Anyways, like 144 is a powerful number without a doubt. That's a very powerful frequency. But it being the number of people who are meant to survive on Earth and ascend, I don't really know. I, deep down from like the highest, most deepest part of my soul, I don't resonate with that. Okay? I don't think that that's set in stone. I think anyone who wants to ascend and make it to this new Earth, which we're already forming, is going to. I don't think that there's a limited number of entry passes. I don't think that those people are already picked out. I think everyone is a chosen one because you chose to come here. You're choosing to play out this life as a human right now on Earth in whatever way that you want to, you know? There's a ton of people that are going to contribute to this change. Everyone alive right now is going to contribute to this change. Babies being born right now are going to contribute to this change. And people who have already lived and died the past, few years or decades or centuries have contributed to this change. So I think it's very unfair to all of those people to say that there's only 144,000 chosen ones. I don't agree with that. In the most loving way, in the most respectful way, I do not agree with that. And I felt really called to talk about it. So I am. Okay? And that's what everyone needs to do. That's what all of these chosen ones need to do, okay? I don't think, if that were real, if that were the case, and if you were one of these, few thousand chosen ones, that you would be walking around saying it. That's the most, egotistical thing you could do, right? If you were really, one of those few thousand chosen ones, you wouldn't be going around, saying, oh, I'm a chosen one, I'm so enlightened. That does not sound like an enlightened person, okay? An enlightened person would be doing something similar to what I'm doing, if not on a larger scale, or a smaller scale, or a scale the same, way I'm doing it. And it's not like I'm reaching that many people currently, but do I want to reach more people? Do I want to spread my word more? Of course. And if I don't, if I only help one person, I know it sounds cliche AF, I do not care, then that makes me happy, and that's why I do it. I don't make money off of this yet, whatsoever. And I accept that, and I'm okay with that. Would I like to? Of course. So would a lot of people. And I think as long as you're doing something that you feel called to do, whether that be, anything, whether that be making eco-friendly cleaning products, or making biodegradable packaging, or just writing a song that has a really positive message, or being a speaker, saying things that have a really positive, inspiring message. That's you doing your part as a chosen one, because we are all chosen ones, okay? You're a chosen one, even if you're not spiritual right now, even if you're not awakening right now, because you chose to come to earth at this powerful time. And you are contributing in some way. If you piss someone off at, the subway station, you're contributing, because pissing that person off could have inspired them to do something like this. You see what I mean? Everyone contributes in one way or another. Therefore, I believe we are all chosen ones, and I don't think we need to fall down this rabbit hole of spirituality, if you will, or false truths. We need to meditate and trust our intuition and find our own truth with that, It's a very powerful time right now if you're watching this when I'm posting it. I know yesterday was the peak of this, 8/8. Every year on August 8th, that's the peak of the Lion's Gate portal, okay? The Lion's Gateway. And if you don't know, that is when Earth, in particular, the Pyramid of Giza, of course, that's really like the center of Earth, but Earth, the Sun, Orion's Belt, of course, and Sirius, in particular, are all aligned, okay? And that just creates a very powerful gateway of energy, and makes us all feel inspired and feel called to really see where we came before, see what we're meant to do this life, see how the two connect, and get really good info from that. And I actually did 2 qhht quantum healing hypnosis therapy sessions, aka past life regression therapy, for people yesterday. And it's not just past life regression therapy, because one of them, actually, that I did later in the day, I didn't even know her, and I did this for free for her because I felt called to, and because I was really interested in seeing her past lives, honestly. So it's kind of ironic that none came through, but that's okay, because for 2 hours I just worked on getting her deep, getting her in this trance, getting her to be able to talk from her higher self and work through some things and give her some advice. She felt so ready, like she was so ready to see her past lives, even though she was really just kind of on the beginning of her spiritual awakening journey. But she already does, tarot readings for people on Facebook sometimes, and she has crystals, and she, works on affirmations and spells and things like that. So she thought, just because of that she was kind of ready to see these past lives. But she had never heard of Andromeda or the Pleiades or anything like that, which I told her I felt like she had lives on. And that's okay, because she got this info that she needs to work through these blockages. During the session she was like, my foot hurts, like multiple times. So finally I was like, I asked her a few times why, and she said she didn't know, and I was like, is this a blockage? Is there something physically wrong with her foot, or is this just an energetic blockage coming through in the form of physical pain? And she said, yes, it's a blockage. And that was just kind of a little bit of a breakthrough for her. And, she said she's not ready to see these other lives yet. She's not ready to really go anywhere. Even though she was so close, I got her to say that she was quiet for so long. She did such a good job, because it's really all you doing this. She took her time with this so well. I, as a guide, just kind of tell people what to visualize, and then it's really them doing it. And I say, take as much time as you need and do this. and she would take more time than anyone else ever has when I've given them a session. So she was really, really, really trying. She was doing an amazing job, but she just knew it wasn't her time to see all that, you know? And that was great. And my friend of a long time that I gave a session to earlier in the day to kind of like warm up for her, because I hadn't done past life regressions in quite a while. So I randomly was like, what are you doing today? Like, do you have an hour or two? And it was the first time doing it over the phone. You know, I wanted to see how it worked over the phone. And if it wasn't for some technical difficulties, we probably would have gone a bit longer. But I was expecting to see or have him talk about some past lives in Egypt, because we both already knew that he had had really important and significant past lives in Egypt, possibly even together. So I was really interested to see if that would come through, but it didn't, and I'm sure that will another day for him. But yesterday, it was the most interesting session I've ever heard. You know, I've had friends describe to me in amazing detail the life of a fish and a bird and a plant, as well as like fairly detailed descriptions of some ET lives. And in my qhht session that I did almost 2 years ago now, which I'll put in the description of this video, the 2 videos that kind of pertain to those stories. But I saw fairly in-depthly more personal lives, and I got more personal information than just kind of like universal cool information about what those star races were like. It was kind of quicker because I had paid a lady to do this, and she wanted to get through it fairly quickly, and I had a lot of questions I asked too, so I kind of get why. But yeah, I gave him a lot of time, and I asked him a lot of questions during this to kind of propel him in the right direction, to just like get more information about this life. We went to a lot of different scenes in it, and I would ask questions about it, and I'm going to do a video on this in the future soon for sure, telling you what information came through, because I don't know what star system this was in exactly. I could guess Orion, which would make sense, but I'm really not sure. It was very interesting because he is a black guy, and he said, yeah, I'm male, but I look different. And I said, how? And he said, I'm white. Like, I'm gold, but I have white people features. And it was just, I'm so proud of him that he like put his ego aside and was able to have all of that information come through. It was just really amazing. And I don't know if you guys have me on YouTube. I have a YouTube page, so you can like the page, Sid Alexandria. I think it's at Sid Alexandria on YouTube is like what it's called. But I posted that on my Facebook page, as well as like my personal one, and in like all of my spiritual groups, this like very long description of kind of what he saw if you don't want to wait for the YouTube video. But it was just really interesting. You know, no one ate there, no one walked there, they floated. And I said they didn't eat and they didn't drink either, so they lived off of energy. It was just very, very interesting, as well as the scenery with red grass and whatnot. So that was really cool. I'd never had that much detail in a session before, so I was really excited about it, and I wanted to kind of share that with you guys, along with just saying, you know, we're all chosen ones, because obviously, if you haven't realized it yet, we've all had lives elsewhere. We all concurrently have lives elsewhere. That's the most interesting thing, I think, that he said during the session, was that people do not die there. they choose to leave, and that a part of him is still there, and that's why he saw that life instead of other lives that could have came through. So I thought that was really amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I don't want this to get too long. I know I talked about a couple different things, a few short stories, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I made you think about the idea of that number, what that number means. I'm curious if you guys agree with me or not. If you don't, that is fine. And if you do, that is just as fine. And yeah, thank you for listening. And I hope you have a great week. I'll be back next week with another video, as always. Love and light, and the hybrid children are coming soon.